Kold and Wendy, a new original series, premieres Thursday, January 5th on WETV. Stream every moment Mondays on All Black.
All right. Good morning, ladies. Welcome. My name is Amaya Desire from Big Up Media. How you all doing today?
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So, of course, you guys got a new show coming out, Kold and Wendy. I was able to see a few episodes. It's interesting because when you get all the episodes, you want to watch everything, but then you're like, dang, I'm gonna be ahead of everybody else. So let me just leave something so that I can catch up. Yeah. But the first two episodes that I did see were very interesting, very raw. So my first question for you is, what was it about oh my God, I'm getting tongue-tied. This is so crazy. What was it about the storyline? Okay, there we go. What was it about the storyline that really interested you into wanting to be a part of the show? And I'll start with you first, Shakia.
Me personally, the fact that the show was centered around female rappers, that was the first selling point for me. Just because I have a musical background as a musician and a singer. I've always dreamed of being a rapper. I'm not a rapper and I can't rap like, but I was just so excited to see that. And I honestly had auditioned for like 4 different rap roles in that year. So I was like, why do I keep getting these auditions as a rapper? And I was like, maybe I'm just not supposed to play one. And then all of a sudden that one came around and I actually got it. It was just oddly, in a way, a dream come true. But yeah, just being able to perform and bring a lot of my musical experience into my acting experience was just kind of like everything coming full circle. It's exciting when you can use all the skills you feel like you have to kind of accomplish something.
Right. Okay. I like that. And what about you, Miss Nijah?
Yes. For me, repeat the question again.
What was it about the storyline that really intrigued you? Yeah.
Definitely a female rap. So I like that it was different. And then female rappers that are in the streets and have gang rivalries and it's violent. Like it's not just like, oh, I put on my mind. It's not giving that. Like it's something completely different. So that definitely intrigued me. And for me, I've never portrayed a rapper. I've never rapped before. So I'm always interested in a role that I feel like doesn't sit so authentically with me to like show my range and challenge myself. And it's just more fun to me. So I was just, everything about this was just different. And I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good segue into my next question, which is what is the biggest difference in the character between the character and your actual personality? And I'll start with you back again, Nijah.
I would definitely say the street credibility where she's from. I'm from the suburbs. Like, born and raised, the only struggle I've had is when I decided to be an actor. That's probably the first time I experienced struggle. Like, I'm of course I have friends or family that have grown up and I've like seen it or like been around it, but I don't identify with it as much as Wendy does. You know, like I don't have a criminal record. So, I mean, I am a law-abiding. I do carry my licensed weapon, but I am not whipping it out on anybody. It's crazy. So, that's just, that was a big difference for me. And like I was saying earlier, I originally auditioned for Kold because I got to choose because Kold was someone at least trying to get out of the streets. I was like, oh, maybe I can identify with that more. But no, I ended up identifying with Wendy way, way, way more. So,
okay. Gotcha. What about you, Shakia?
Oh, what was the question?
What's the biggest difference between you and your character?
Difference. I'd say the biggest difference is definitely, yes, the street credibility. But I'd say also just the toxic relationships. I have done some growing as a personal human, and I have cut some toxic people out of my life, whether it be men or women relationships, whatever. And I feel like playing Kold was exhausting in some ways because especially in the beginning, she's dealing with so much toxicity, like from Wendy, from the guy she's in a relationship, and that takes a toll on you as a human. And I don't even think I realized, I mean, I knew how exhausting they were when I was in them, but looking back at it and being like, Kold was going through it, like with this guy or with just the people around her. So I feel like Kold I don't feel like Kold necessarily chooses the best people to be around her. And I feel like that's something I've tried to master in my own personal life, which is being very selective about who I associate with, who I attach myself to.
Right.
So I feel like that's one of our biggest differences.
Okay. All right, cool. A fun question now. So of course we're talking about female rappers here. So I gotta ask the question, right? Who, if anybody, right, would you say that you want to take something from, or did take something from as far as it concerns to this role, or who is your favorite at the moment?
My favorite. Oh,
go ahead. I always do that.
It's okay.
My favorite has always. I just love Nicki Minaj. Like, I feel like before Nicki, maybe my favorite might have been Lauryn Hill, because I love women who can kind of rap and sing and who kind of combine those things. And I love music like that. So when Pink Friday came out, I was like, I need to know every song. I just need to know every song and be prepared for when this concert comes so I can sing along. Because it was just like Nicki just embodies all the things, like confidence. She can spit, like her lyrics aren't, they're witty, they're fun. Like even sometimes just listening to her, I'll chuckle, I'll laugh, like a trip. Like I just know her. Like so I feel like Nicki is just someone that I've always just kind of studied. And with Kold, I tried to add a little bit of her flavor, because Kold isn't just soul drill, she's trying to get out of drill. So I kind of looked at Cardi B and Saweetie and Nicki Minaj as like a few people to kind of like, oh, these are people Kold probably wants to be like. These are people she probably is trying to impersonate, and try to embody a little bit more of them.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What about you, Nijah?
For me, my favorite female rapper is Tierra Whack. I think she is so dope. Like, she is super, super dope. And she's actually from Philly, but she actually freestyles. So I definitely feel like Wendy being somebody that is dope off the dome. Like, I hate it now, but a lot of freestyles aren't freestyles. They just they're clearly written, which is like, it blows my mind. But like, I remember seeing Tierra Whack freestyle, and on one of her bars, she kind of like messed up and then just got back on the beat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's really freestyling, because that's what you do. You freestyle, you might mess up, but you keep going. And just seeing her rap too, she's really into it. Like, it's like she's drawing while she's rapping, and like she's feeling it, and it's just super dope and authentic. So I definitely feel like that's somebody that Wendy would admire, but Wendy's definitely in the streets. And so then I feel like that's why I kind of lean more to some of the like male artists, because a lot more male artists talk about some things in the streets, but definitely Tierra Whack as far as like female artists.
Okay, gotcha. So tell me, were there any challenges with the character that you had, like anything that came up for you that you were like, man, I gotta like dig deeper into adjusting for the character? Anything that stood out for you in that manner? I'm gonna start with you, Nijah.
Yes. I almost spoiled the thing. Okay, let's not say that one. Okay, I will say that without spoiling it, Wendy goes through something that I witnessed my sibling go through something in his childhood, and that I grew up with. And it was very traumatic. So even though it was something fun and different, everyone on set was excited for me to do it, but I was dreading it because I've experienced that, and it's very, very scary, and it's not something I like take lightly, because something like I remember, it was traumatic to watch my brother go through. And so like that was hard for me. And then also Wendy was is dealing with a lot of bad decisions, and she's kind of battling her demons. And some of that stuff I take home with me, and I actually was having dreams about, because I really wanted this to be real. So that was a little hard for me, because these things that she does, you want to say like, this is the character, but when I feel like are a really dope actor and into it, it kind of starts to blend a little bit. And you're on set. The only time you're not on set is sometimes when you're asleep. So it literally becomes your life. Like, you really become this person. So that was hard for me.
Okay, gotcha. What about you, kid?
And the question was,
what did you find most challenging about your character? Like anything that stood out to you while you were, any particular scene or anything like that, without giving it away, of course.
Yes. Yeah, it's so difficult not to spoil. I I will say there are a lot of different instances throughout the show that I feel were personally difficult for me, because I think they dealt with just trauma in general. And I think a lot of people don't touch on how traumatic a lot of the experiences our people go through, how traumatic these experiences are. Like, yeah, drill rap, they're talking about violence and a lot of these things, but these are real experiences that they have gone through. These are things that people are dealing with. So sometimes I think just the weight and the reality of a lot of the scenes I was in was hard for me, because sometimes it was hard to imagine someone being in this situation. Sometimes it was hard to imagine how could Kold let this happen? even something is, I don't even know if this is a spoiler, but well, we know she's trying to get her son back. So even something like that was difficult for me in the beginning, because I was just trying to think about how she even let that happen.
Right.
And that was because, I'm not a mother yet, but that's something I want to be. So just kind of going through some of those situations. And every time I had a scene with Kyrie, I actually wanted to cry, because I'm like, this little boy is so sweet and he's literally begging to come home. Right. And because of something this character did, he can't. And how difficult that can be. But the reality is that is some people's reality. So there are a lot of situations like that are throughout the show that just kind of hit home for you in a different way, that just make you appreciate life a lot more.
Right. I totally agree with you. Watching, I think even in the first episode, I got a taste of that. And I'm pretty sure I'm way older than you guys, right? But the experiences that you have as you start going into different chapters of your life, you definitely do start to see things a lot differently than you would, like, in your 20s, 30s, 40s. And so I think that this show definitely grabs, especially for you guys at the young space that you're in. It might even open up a door for people to look at their lives, look at you all and say like, man, maybe it's time for me to escape or to do something differently. So, gosh, what was my next question? Oh, so segueing into that, what do you want the viewers, what do you want the audience to get from the totality of the series of Kold and Wendy? And I'll start with you, Nijah.
Yeah, I definitely want, like what you said, I want people to look and say like, okay, maybe I can do things a little bit differently. And I also want them to forgive themselves for decisions that they feel like they might have made and beating up themselves. Like, you're not perfect. You're having a human experience. Like, you can make mistakes. And the good thing is every day you wake up, it is a brand new day to start something different. So I'm going to take away from the show.
Okay. What about you, Shkia?
I think I hope people walk away from this show with a lot more empathy and just grace for people who come from different backgrounds, people who maybe got a rough start in life, have criminal records, but are trying to change their lives around. We make it so difficult for people to recover from mistakes. And because we make it so difficult for people to recover, they resort to violence. They resort to a lot of criminal activity, because sometimes that's like literally the only way to get it. Like, because what else are you going to do? Like, rent is high. It is. Like, bills are high. Like, we are out here trying to survive. So I wish we could just give a little bit more grace, a little bit more empathy, and just kind of a bit more just welcoming of people who are really just trying to do better, because it's not easy. It's not easy to change your life around, and you need support. Absolutely. And I think that's one thing you see with Kold. She's trying to change, but she doesn't even have support around her to do that, which makes it easier for her to continue the lifestyle that she's already living.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, you guys have some old souls. It's really been just amazing just talking to you all. But before I let you go, I gotta ask, what is your, what episode are you looking forward to everybody really seeing? Like, what's your favorite episode out of the 8 that you have?
Wait,
I don't even know the episode number. Oh, I think I have.
Yes, I'm like, there's
it's hard to say. because
I'm gonna say I'm over here trying to cheat to remember which one.
Listen,
honestly,
no,
I
it's
might
okay.
like number 7. I think my favorite episode is between 6 and 7. I can't say why, but I feel like me personally, I have to stretch myself a lot.
Okay.
Because I feel like once I get to like 5, 6, and after that, I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Okay.
I feel like Kold is going through a lot. Kold is trying to accomplish a lot in a short amount of time. So I feel like it just gets more intense. And I feel like even as an actor, I could feel it getting more intense. I could feel the more lines, more music, more everything. So I feel like it heightens a lot when you get to the second half of the season. So that's what I'm excited about.
Okay, gotcha. What about you, Nijah?
I think now after looking, I'm definitely excited about the season finale. I'm excited about episode 8 because I mean, Wendy from episode 1 has made it very clear that she does not want to leave the streets. She's not trying to separate herself. We're going to get this record deal, you know, whatever it takes. And, you know, I keep doing that. So it's nice to see where do I end up at the 8th, and where does that put us in the 8th episode? How far have I come? You'll see how far I've come with accomplishing that goal. So
right.
The last one.
All right, awesome. Well, listen, like I said, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm gonna watch it with the rest of the world, you know, so that I don't have to be like holding on to this and then having to tell people like it's about time you guys caught up. You know what I mean? I'm super excited for you both. Congratulations on
Thank you so
such
much.
an amazing show. And cheers to a season 2, right? Because you got to manifest what you want. And so what an honor. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate you too. Thank you.